Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, Monday nights, right where we want to be. Slasher Movie Club, Coriander. We have finally gotten to this point. I know you've been waiting. We've had many people ask us when we were going to dive into this franchise, and we found a way to do it, man. We snuck it in there on a quiet Monday night. We're going to be talking about Child's Play from 1988. The beginning of one of the great horror icons, Chucky. So, what is up? How you doing? Are you ready to do this?
I'm ready. Yeah,
All
this is a
right,
great movie. Yeah.
all
Are you
right.
ready?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm
All
ready.
right.
Let's see what we have in the chat. Let's get going on this thing, man. And we also have a special surprise, kind of a little bit of a dedication to one of our good friends of the channel who did a hell of a job and is going to help us with some of this discussion. But we got Patrick in
Yeah.
the chat saying, "Hello, Night, Coriander, and Jerry. What's
Hello.
going on?" All right.
Mhm.
Blucka, my man Blucka's in the chat. Chucky has two like buttons
Hey.
for his hands. It is adorable. And
Nice.
we got Denisha. Denisha's in the chat.
Hello.
Hey, Denisha, one of our new channel members. Thank you so much for joining
Yeah,
us.
that's
Thank
awesome.
you. And thank you so much for your continued support. We really appreciate it. Let's see. Blucka saying Chucky shows more acting range than a lot of actors and actresses. Right. Ah.
That's funny.
Maverick's in the chat. What's up, Maverick? David, he's in the chat. Ryder Reviews is in the chat. What's going on, man? Saying, hey there. How's everyone doing
Hey.
this evening? Doing pretty good, man. Just sitting here.
Yeah.
Going to be talking about some Child's Play, just having a discussion with you guys. But great to see you. Neil's in the chat too.
Mhm.
Let's see. I've only seen the original once, haven't seen any of the sequels, but I have seen the
Mm.
remake. Oh, cool. Well, Neil, you have to let me know, what did you think of the remake versus the original? That's something that we won't really touch upon tonight, but we are going to hopefully dive into the sequels at some point. And that definitely will be a conversation piece as far as the remake. Jake's in the chat. What's up? What's up?
Hello.
Emma's in the chat. Hi, Night. How you doing, Emma? Nice to see you. And Denisha's ready to do this thing. All right. So, Coriander, this is a little bit of a different episode, in my opinion, because one thing that we decided to do when we first came up with the idea of Slasher Movie Club is we were going to stay away from the major horror icons. That's
Mm.
why we haven't done a Friday the 13th as part of Slasher
Yep.
Movie Club, or Texas Chainsaw, or Freddy,
Mm.
or Halloween. And this is the first time that we've really dealt with a major horror icon. First of all, what are your thoughts of Chucky in general, as far as him being an icon? And what is your relationship with this movie, as far as maybe when you first saw it and some of your initial thoughts?
I mean, this was a pretty good movie. I've always enjoyed the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
It stacks out great. And Brad Dourif as the voice of Chucky, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's creepy. This doll that is supposed to be your child's toy is, yeah, wreaking havoc and your kid's being blamed for all this shit. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a good movie. It's
Yeah.
enjoyable. It's fun. I mean, yeah.
All right. All right. What do you think? What do you think about Chucky's place as a horror icon? There are a lot of people that put him right up there with, Freddie, Michael, and
See,
Jason.
I don't, for me personally, he's not up that high,
Okay.
but it's a cute doll.
All right. All right. I hear you. Um, I think that Chucky definitely has a place, in the, I would say maybe in the top five or six, I think, just longevity longevity
Yeah.
itself, because he's one of the few icons from the 80s to still be doing it,
Oh,
still relevant,
definitely.
especially with the remake and obviously with the TV series. Um and and Brad Dourif, I mean, again, another icon. So I think he's definitely within that top five or six. So I'll give him that much credit. But this first movie was magnificent, and I hadn't seen it
Yeah.
in several years. And I think I told you about this rewatching it for this episode. I was blown away with how good this movie is, just in its subtlety. Um, and man, it almost made me become a fan again because I was a fan when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I liked the sequel, I liked part three, and that's when I started to kind of fall off on it a little bit. But this movie, for you guys
Mhm.
that may not have seen it in a while, to me, it's a fantastic movie. It really, really
Yeah,
is.
it is.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Blucka was saying, did you think the name Child's Play was better than Chucky? I think so. I think it kind of gave you. It was kind of a fun name, but it also had
Mhm.
mystery to it. So I definitely think so. Yeah. Desiree's in the chat saying hello, Night Watch, made it, and also hello, Coriander. All right,
Hi.
all right. Blucka saying that Chucky is what happens when you try to have more fun than Friday the 13th. Right?
Nice.
Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. But let's get into some of the characters in the beginning. So Brad Dourif,
Yeah.
obviously, it starts off with him. He's on the run, and I,
Mhm.
I just want to say it was so fun watching his performance in this movie because I think that he brought a certain he always just brings something cool to what he does, but playing
Yeah.
Charles Lee Ray on the run
Mhm.
from Chris Sarandon. What did you think about the opening? Because the opening of it, it really feels like this, kind of like this, you know, cop thriller opening,
Yeah.
which is totally
Mhm.
different than what the movie becomes. But what did you think of the opening?
Right. I liked the opening,
Hmm.
because it pretty much sets you up for what's about to happen and what happens to Brad. And so, yeah, the, they go into the toy store and,
Hmm.
yeah, he gets shot and he's going to die. So he puts his soul into this doll.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
there's only one place you can go, and that's into a doll.
yeah,
And
crafty thinking, right?
oh my god, it was when I first saw this movie, I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I will say the practical effects in this movie is very, very cool. And I don't mean just Chucky
Yeah.
himself, but even when he's using the voodoo, and he's calling, "Give me the power, I beg of you," and the
Yeah.
lightning and
Yeah.
everything, and then the explosion. I mean, this was some really cool stuff, man. I really appreciated the craft that they put
Yeah.
into these scenes. Very, very cool stuff. But we have
This
to
is so
move
cute.
yeah, we have to move away from that. And this is the other thing I want to mention too. This movie, obviously, Chucky is, the big part of this. But this movie, in my opinion, and let me know what you think, Coriander, but this movie, it rests so much on the likability of Andy because
Yes.
he's the main character in a lot of ways, and he
He
also
is.
is basically we care about him, so it's
Mhm.
wonderfully played by Alex Vincent. What did you
So
think of
damn
this?
cute.
He was. I mean, what do you think about this scene? He's making his mom breakfast and he's doing all the wrong
He's
things that we've all done before.
yes, it's cute and oh my
Yes.
God, this kid is like the sweetest little thing.
Yes.
So yeah, to see him spill the cereal and the milk and
Yeah.
plop a whole crap load of butter on a piece of toast.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my kids thought it was frosting. It's like, no, that's butter,
Right.
man.
Right.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
it was just so cute. It was his birthday. So, he
Yes.
was waking her up with a nice breakfast so that he could get
Hmm.
to the good stuff. So he was
Yeah.
smart.
He was
Yeah.
buttering her up in more ways than
Yes,
one.
literally, right.
Right? Oh
Yeah.
my god. Jake was saying nobody can do Chucky better than Brad Dourif. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. But Reddit
Mhm.
reviews, Brad Dourif is awesome, but I've also been amazed at the talent that Fiona has portrayed. Fiona does a really good imitation. If you guys are into the TV show, whatever, I got to give her hell of a lot of credit. Very
See, I haven't
talented.
seen the show, the TV show.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's some good stuff. Hopefully, we'll
Yeah.
get a chance to get into it, especially if people are interested in it. We definitely want to
Mm.
provide what people are interested in. DMC
Mhm.
too is in the chat. Hey, Night and Coriander. I thought the first three
Hello.
Child's Play movies were excellent, but I didn't get into any of the others. Once Tiffany and Glenda were introduced, it ruined things for me. There's a lot of people that fall on one side or the other of
Yeah.
that. I definitely
Yes.
understand that. Yeah, absolutely. His daughter sounds just like him in the Chucky TV series. Isn't that the truth? It's
Nice.
wild. It's absolutely
That's cool.
wild. Hmm.
Hmm.
Yep. Desiree saw Child's Play Michael Nuri after seeing Flashdance. Too
Oh no.
funny.
Right.
Jason's in the chat too. What's up, Jason from the J Man's
Hello.
Movie Cave? What's up, man? Check him out. And Triv's in the chat from Triv Theater.
Hey.
Yay!
Nice.
One of our deadly venoms. What's going on, Triv? Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Very
Hmm.
cool. But so Andy is adorable, and like I said, that really
Yes.
sets up everything. So of course he loves the good guy dolls. You see the commercials, and it's so
Yes.
cute. I
The
mean,
cartoon.
the cartoons, the
Yeah.
everything. This is all
The
mass market.
pajamas.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
next thing you know, they'll have. Well, anyways, they got everything. So
Right.
as a kid, I probably would want one too, but she needs to find one, and she gets one from this homeless guy and brings it to him and so forth. And it's just a really cute thing. The doll is friggin' cute. I love the design of the doll. I
Hmm.
won't get deep into the new design of Chucky, but I think this design of the doll, he looks so innocent, and it looks like
He
something that a
does.
kid would really want. So I'll
Yeah.
just put it out like
Don't
that.
right. Don't you remember the My Buddy doll when we were kids?
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Did you have one?
I did not. I did not.
No.
But I really dug the commercial.
Right. Yeah.
I really
Can
love
you
the
still
commercial.
sing it? I know like
No,
part of it, like just the end. Oh, okay.
my buddy. Anyways, so
Yeah.
look, let me just throw this out here. This movie, and of course, it was the brainchild of Don Mancini. He was a horror fan since his childhood, and his inspiration for Child's Play was things like Trilogy of Terror and the Talkie Tina episode of The Twilight Zone. And his idea was that there wasn't anything like that as far as a movie in the 80s, a long movie with that type of idea. So that's really where the whole thing kind of started to gestate as far as the idea of Child's Play. And I'm telling you, man, it's so damn creepy when we get to that scene where Andy is being
Mhm.
babysat, and you can hear the
Yeah.
music, and you can see the POV from really low. And
Mhm.
man, that scene with the hammer to her head, and then she
Yeah.
gets knocked out of the
Not
window
only
from the
that, when she's
force.
sitting on the couch, right? And he's like, he runs past her.
Yes.
That was pretty creepy.
Yes, it was so
Yeah.
creepy because I think the smartest thing that they did in this movie is they didn't show you him doing anything until I think it was at least halfway through the movie. Like all you saw
Mhm.
was from his point of view and scurrying around and stuff like that. So it really
Yep.
gave this otherworldly type of vibe to him, which of course
Mhm.
he is. I mean, this is all voodoo shit, you know what I mean? But I thought that was
Mhm.
smart of them to do it like that. Very, very smart. What did you think of that scene, how it played out? And man, when she fell out of that window, that was a great, great stunt. It looked awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I felt bad for her because, you know, the mom, what was the mother's name? I can't remember.
Oh, in the
Um,
movie? Oh,
yeah, yeah. Karen.
Karen. Yeah.
Karen. So when Karen called and they kind of had that talk when she was like kind of first spooked and she could sense that something's wrong, but you could tell that these ladies had quite the friendship,
Right. Yeah.
so and the fact that, on the poor kid's birthday, the mother's Karen's made to work late. So she's
Mm-hmm.
like, I'll watch the kid, it's no problem. And
Right.
yeah, I felt so bad because yeah, Chucky gets her right in the head and with that little
Yeah.
hammer and she
Absolutely.
falls back and goes out that window and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It was crazy.
it was
It
quite
was
the
crazy.
scene.
A well done
Mhm.
scene, and her impact, the impact was like it made me cringe. Just like wow, that was
Well,
and again,
I think they put like lead or something in the dummy so that when she fell hard and she hit
yeah,
hard. And
it
they
definitely
put
looked like
like explosives in the windows so that they'd shatter like that. Yeah.
Yes, yes. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Jason saying I had a blonde My Buddy doll. All right, man.
Nice.
The truth is coming
Good for
out.
you.
The truth is
Hey,
coming
that's
out.
okay.
The My Buddy commercials were everywhere, wasn't it? I mean, if you're of that
Yeah, they
generation,
were.
you know. Crystal's in the
Yeah.
chat too. What's going on? What's going on? Jake, I had a My Buddy doll. I even tried to do the Chucky voodoo on it.
Nice. That's cool.
Nice. What's up, Steven? That's funny as hell. Trying to do the voodoo. But anyways, so you got the cops, they come into play and they're trying to figure out what happened. And when Karen comes back home, we haven't talked yet about her, but um I think that she was very good in this movie, played by Catherine Hicks,
Yeah, she was.
as the
Yep.
mother. I mean, I think she was just as important as Andy, and
Yeah,
just
she
some
made a great
fantastic.
mama bear.
She
Mhm.
did. And of course, that's when, she first comes in contact with Chris Sarandon as the
Mhm.
detective, Mike Norris. And so they had some great scenes too. I think they had some really good chemistry too, just as two actors, which I think made
Yeah.
things very believable. But Coriander, I'm telling you, when you see those little footprints and they're trying to figure out what the hell happened, you can see the writing on the
Yeah.
wall that they were thinking
Yeah.
this was from a kid. And
Yep.
again, Karen was very protective of Andy, as she should be. And there were some great scenes because here's the bottom
Yeah.
line. And again, we do have a surprise for you guys. We're going to be playing in just a minute. So this is a little tease of it. But of course you're not going to believe, because like Andy is like, well, Chucky did it because she
Mhm.
saw him, and he didn't want her to tell anyone, and this and that. So of course you're not going to believe that. This movie plays on that whole idea of what's believable and what's not. So you're
Yeah.
totally on board with her as a mother. I mean, what do
Yep.
you think of that, Coriander? Because I mean, who would believe that?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You're there to protect your child, and the fact
Right.
that this poor kid was there when all this happened. I mean,
Yes,
come on,
absolutely.
that's crazy shit. And one
Yep.
thing too, it's like these detectives, or if they're detectives, whatever the hell they are,
Yeah.
they're not very good because shoes on those slippers are like twice as big as the footprints in that flower.
Yep.
So they should have known there that it wasn't him,
Right. Right.
unless they're thinking he's using the doll. But
Right.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. David saying Andy wanting a good guy is almost very similar to most kids of the 80s who wanted Teddy Ruxpin. That's right. Good old Teddy Ruxpin. I remember them. They were really, really popular. Oh my gosh.
Mhm. I had my Cabbage Patch dolls and I was happy,
Yeah.
and my
Yeah.
Barbies. Yeah.
Yep. I bet you did. Desiree saying props to Catherine Hicks. She really did a great job. I think so too.
She did.
Everybody was good in this. I think everybody did a heck of
Yeah.
a job, and that's what made it work. That's what made this movie so
Mhm.
special, in my opinion. But you also have those scenes where she's just trying to put these pieces of the puzzle together, and
Mm.
it's interesting because again, she's playing it like a mother that is so worried about her son. The pieces don't add up. He's swearing to her that it was Chucky, and he's such a cute little
Yeah.
kid. I mean, look at this
It is.
kid, man. He's so damn cute. He's cuter than
Mhm.
Chucky, right? So, anyways, but nobody believes it. Nobody believes it at all. They bring Andy to the psych ward or whatever. And for you
Yeah.
guys of a certain generation, shout out to Jack Colvin right here, who had a very small bit. If any of you guys are down with the team, you know what he was on. He was on the Incredible Hulk TV show with the immortal Bill Bixby and Lou Ferrigno. He played McGee, and that was that part where he says, "Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry." So I just want to give a shout out to Jack Colvin because I absolutely loved the Incredible Hulk TV show. But anyways, so it's a really cool scenes. You feel bad for Andy, and this is all coming to a point where we want to see what's going to happen when Chucky reveals himself, right? I mean,
Mhm.
that's what I'm waiting for. How about you, Coriander?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because we know he's coming to life. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, and we
So
just don't know
yeah.
when it's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
Blucka saying, imagine trying to be scared of a doll like that. It's almost like doing CGI back then. Yeah. Fate's in the chat. What's up, man? Would you ever want to see Charles actually get a new human body? That would be an interesting twist. It really would. I'm
Yeah,
up for anything.
it's
I'm up for
almost like
anything.
Jason being reborn.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
stop it! Don't do that. She's Coriander's referencing our episode yesterday. So for any of you guys that did not see our Jason Goes to Hell episode, it might have been one of our funniest episodes of all time. We had a hell of a great time with the live chat. So definitely check that out if you guys get a chance. And by the way, please give the video a like. That would help to support the channel, and we really appreciate that. Grande's in the chat too, man, saying the scene where she finds out that he had no batteries. Yes, yes, and absolutely.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna tell you what, Grande, you just set us up for a great moment, at least in my opinion. I want to take a second. I want to play for you guys a clip of our good friend Frenzy, who was part of the
Yeah.
Two Bearded Losers podcast. And when we had our scariest moments in horror movies, we
Mhm.
all picked one of our most favorite and scariest movie moments. And it was a really good project. If you guys haven't seen that, please check it out. It was a really fun project.
Yeah.
We had over 25 YouTubers, over 25 channels all together, and it's on our trailer spot on our channel here. But it was a fun event. It was live,
Yep.
and it was a blast. And Frenzy, he's so good with movies, but he gives his explanation of the scene that Grande's talking about, and I thought it would be not only appropriate to play it because it's so good, but also just to kind of as a small tribute to him as a good friend who's getting his life together after a lot of hard times. So much love to Frenzy. So I want to play this for you guys. So check this out and enjoy.
So about halfway through Child's Play, the 1988 Tom Holland classic, Miss Barclay, Catherine Hicks, has just gotten home from the police department where her son is being held and accused of murdering her best friend. All of the evidence points to the fact that he did it or some little kid, and not that his good guy doll killed her. That's what Andy's story is. And this is classic suspense because the audience knows what's going on, but the characters don't. So she's brought home Chucky, the doll, and she refuses to believe that it's a lie, but at the same time she refuses to believe that her son actually murdered someone. This whole scene, this is one of my favorites, is her trying to process these two things.
Say something, you little bastard.
Now, Tom Holland's great. He likes to slow burn things. He kind of stretches it out a little bit. It's not just the doll comes to life, but we get to see this process unfold. First, she picks up the good guy doll box and the batteries fall out. Already horrifying enough. Second,
Right.
just to make sure there's not other batteries in Chucky, she opens Chucky, no batteries. His head spins around, awesome jump scare. But the cherry on top of the shit sundae that is this incredibly horrifying moment is that she lights a fire and in a rage holds the doll up and threatens the doll that if it doesn't speak, she's gonna throw it into the goddamn fire.
I said talk to me, damn it, or else I'm gonna throw you in the fire!
You stupid bitch, you filthy slut!
And then suddenly the doll comes to life, which we knew
Oh,
it was going to, but no one could have ever expected in such a spectacular fashion. First impressions are so important, and they don't get much better than this.
Absolutely, man. I could not have worded it any better than how Frenzy
Right.
did right there. It is a great scene. It is well shot. The pacing of it is great. The reaction from Catherine is so great because I think it's almost like she believes, but she doesn't believe that it's the
Mhm.
doll. You know what I'm saying, Coriander?
Mhm.
And she's like he said, she's in a rage and she's threatening this doll. And when he comes to life, the look on her face, I mean, she is
Yeah.
genuinely scared, witless. I
Mhm.
mean, it is crazy. And again, the practical effects for Chucky in this scene were great. It was such a fabulous moment, and they really waited. Tom Holland waited to bring this moment to the screen, and I thought
Yeah.
it was fantastic. What did you think of that scene? I know Frenzy said a lot, but just your own personal vibe on it.
Yeah, this was the pinnacle scene because yeah, this is when we really see Chucky and
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, he's like I said, Brad Dourif in the voice, I mean, it's so great and the fact that he was so vulgar and Yeah,
Yes.
you wouldn't expect this cute little doll to be such a little shit. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
it's a
Absolutely.
great scene. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I mean, seriously, it was so amazing, so amazing.
Mm.
And of course, Tom Holland, for you guys, he directed Child's Play, but he also directed Fright Night. He also directed Stephen King's Thinner, and he also did Psycho 2, which, in my opinion, is such a great sequel, so underrated,
It
so
is.
underappreciated. We
I
did our
enjoyed
series.
all those Psycho movies.
Yes, and we did
Mm.
our series review on the Psycho movies on the old channel, and we're gonna redo those, and I cannot wait. I really cannot wait. Um, Jake was saying the most epic scene in horror movie history. It really was good, and Frenzy chose that as his moment, and he killed it in that project. He really did.
Yeah.
Grande saying Frenzy is a great dude. He really is.
He is.
He really
Yep.
is. No doubt. Desiree saying that was great. Oh, thank you so much. It was a fun time. Again, if you guys haven't seen our episode, the
Yeah.
scariest
You gotta
movie
check it
moments
out.
in horror movie history, check it out because it was so much fun, and we had a
Hmm.
lot of great times on it. Neil also saying Psycho 2 is definitely underrated. I absolutely agree. There's no doubt. But now that Chucky is revealed, now we can have some real fun with the character, and we see him. He's just got a game plan. He wants to go and even the score. He gets Andy to sneak out of school, and he goes to his old hangout, and he wants to even the score with his old buddies and stuff. Which that was a great scene too, with this huge ass explosion.
Yeah.
Everything's exploding, man. It's like,
I
wow.
know.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was great stuff. But the unfortunate thing too in this is that now that Karen understands what's going on, and she realizes that Chucky's alive and it's
Hmm.
Charles Lee Ray, she can't get anyone to believe her. She's trying to get Chris
Yeah.
Sarandon to believe her. He does not believe her,
Nope.
which of
And she even
course
has a
makes
bite
sense.
mark on her arm, right? And he's
Yes,
like, "How'd you
yes,
get that?" And she's like, "Chucky." And he's like, "Oh
that's
my
right.
God, enough." And it's like,
Yes.
wow, man.
Absolutely. And he said all that until that scene in the car, which that was another great scene.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, absolutely. Comes to life. And man, that scene was rough, man, because Chucky is trying to stab through the chair. And
Yeah.
it was cool just how it was shot. It really made you get
Yep.
all, I was like antsy, like moving around, of course. And again, the voice work that Brad Dourif did was just fantastic. You really believed this doll was friggin' alive, man. That's the thing
Yeah,
that,
you
that
did.
got me. You really believed it. Um,
Hmm.
and we have a couple of fun facts we want to throw out too. And Coriander, I'll let you do that. Maybe at least maybe two of them that we'll throw up
Okay.
because this movie does have a lot of interesting stuff involved with it. So I'll let you jump into that, Coriander.
Okay. So in the scene where Chucky runs behind Maggie in the hallway, Chucky was played by Alex Vincent's younger sister.
Mm,
Yeah, and the film used various ways to portray Chucky, including RC animatronics and little
hmm.
people to child actors.
Yes, that was an interesting thing too, man. Because like I said, man, it's some crazy stuff on how they made this work.
Hmm. Do you want me to keep going or?
Yeah, we'll do another one.
Okay, so all of Brad Dourif's voiceover work for Chucky was recorded in advance so they could match up Chucky's mouth with the words. And because of this, Dourif rarely ever appeared on set.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good one too. And I didn't know that at first until doing the research on it. You know,
Hmm.
it just goes to show you how movies can be made and it just seems so seamless. But Chucky
Yeah.
also, what we realize is that even though he was able, Charles Lee Ray was able to, obviously inhabit the doll, he
Hmm.
can't stay, he can't stay in the doll, because
Nope.
he's becoming human again. He's getting injured and
Yep.
so forth
He's
and all
feeling
that.
pain. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So he goes back to to the voodoo priest, and this was a great scene, man, because John, who's the voodoo priest, basically says, "Well, you're an abomination. You're
Hmm.
abomination to God and all this type of stuff." And he said, "You took everything that I taught you and you perverted it." And it's a
Evil. Yeah.
yes, it was a great scene. But anyways,
It was.
he wants to know how Chucky wants to know how he can reverse the spell, and he has to transfer his soul to the first human he revealed himself to. So of course we
Yeah.
all know that that's Andy, and so
Yeah.
even Chucky
And I
still
love how they got, yeah, I love how we found his voodoo dolls. And that's how
yes.
he was getting them.
Yes. Well, it was so funny because you could just kind of get how gleeful he was in this scene because he knew that, hey, it's a 6-year-old kid. This is going to be easy as cake to do it, because obviously
Yeah.
Andy's only 6, but he knows where the voodoo doll is. And he even said to John, you shouldn't let people know where you keep important things. And
Right.
he broke his leg, he broke his
Yeah,
arm.
he did.
There was some really great scenes there as far as the torture, and he eventually
Yep.
just killed him.
He
He
stabbed
stabbed him.
him. Yep.
Oh man, I'm telling you, it was like I said, man. This movie has some really cringy scenes in a good way. Really, really good. Des
Hmm.
Desiree is saying, yeah, yeah. Now she looks like the crazy one. Yes, that's a good point too, because now she believes too. Really, really cool.
Hmm.
Steven's in the chat, craving something scary. What's going on? Saying, hey guys,
Hello.
what's going on, man? How you doing? Nice to see you. Saying wanted to pop over and say hello. Thanks, man. We appreciate that. Really do, really do. But let's get into the finale of this thing, Coriander. So we
Hmm.
know what's happening. We know what Chucky wants to do. He has to
Yep.
find a way to transfer himself into Andy.
Hmm.
But at the same time, we have Karen who realizes that that's what's going to happen because she finds John and he
Hmm.
says, you must stop him and yada, 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 yada. So in the finale, you have Andy who gets knocked out and Chucky's like,
Yeah.
he wants to transfer himself into the doll. And of course, it's a really cool scene, this final act. What did you think of this? And of course, it leads up to the fireplace scene, which was really, really cool.
Yeah. I mean, this was a tense scene because you got, Karen and the cop there
Yes.
trying to get their asses to Andy as quick as they can to stop him
Right.
from doing this ritual. And
Hmm.
he almost does it. And you're
Yeah, he
thinking, oh
does.
my God, if he takes over this poor kid, it's like
Yeah.
that's that's tragic because
Right.
yeah, this kid is such a cutie. So
Right. That's the
yeah.
thing is that you
And
really you
you
really
feel
want the
for
kid.
him.
Yeah, you feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they make it just in time. So
Yes.
thank
Yep.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And then you have that fantastic scene. I wish I could play it because I think it was so cool where she puts him into the fireplace, but she can't get
Yeah.
to the matches. She's like sitting with her back towards the grate. And she's telling
Hmm.
Andy, get the matches, get the matches. And of course, Andy, he just comes to after being knocked out
Hmm.
and he starts to light the match. And all of a sudden, and it was really cool how Brad Dourif could go between evil Chucky and good guy Chucky
Yeah.
because all of a
Yeah.
sudden, and even with the look on his face, and you could see that, and he says, Andy, what are you doing? I'm your friend till the end. And credit
Hmm.
to Alex Vincent because this was such a cool scene and it could have been played horribly because he says, this is the end,
Yeah.
friend. And he
All
throws the
right.
match in. It was fantastic.
Yep.
First of all, his performance was great. What did you think of his performance in that scene? Because I thought as a kid, he sold
He
it
did
great.
good. He
Yes.
did, and he's brave. Come on, because at
Yes.
first he was terrified and he couldn't even move at first. And his
Hmm.
mother was like, "Come on, Andy, help me." And
Yes.
so the fact that he stepped up and did it, yeah, he's a brave little
Yes.
kid.
I agree, man. I agree. But you know what, Coriander? We've seen a lot of horror movies, and we know the rules, especially for my folks in the chat that are Stu fans. Those are the rules. So even though he
Oh
gets
no.
burnt up, it's not
Yeah,
over, is it?
right. It
And
never
I'm going to tell
is.
you what. I'm going to tell you what, Coriander. When I first saw this movie, even at that time, and I was a kid, and I had watched
Mm,
a lot of horror movies at that point. I'm not going to lie to you. I really did think it was over when he got burnt up. So when you see
yeah.
Chucky come back looking like Crispy Man here, I'm like,
Yeah.
are you serious? And it was like you had that stinger, right? Funny thing
Hmm.
is, we have two stingers. This is the first one that he comes back after being burnt up. And he's stabbing through the door. He's trying to get to Karen. And his
Yeah.
voice changed even a little bit more because he was like, "Give me the boy, give me the boy, and I'll let you live." It was almost like another level of quote unquote evil Chucky. I don't know if you got that, but that's kind of like what I
Mhm.
got. What would you think? It was almost like he was even more evil at this point.
Well, come on. Like we're all saying, he could feel pain, so that was probably pretty
True.
fucking painful.
Yes.
So I could see why he'd be all the way he was. So yeah,
Yes.
man.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. True enough. And so, and also the other thing too that I forgot to mention is Chris Sarandon was at the house too, but he got
Mhm,
sliced and diced on the leg, and he was
mhm,
basically out of commission, which made sense because obviously if he was still around, he's a cop, it should be fairly easy to protect Karen and Andy. So it really was
right.
on Karen to save Andy and herself because
Mhm,
Chris Sarandon was out of order in the bedroom because he was injured.
mhm.
But you have that fantastic scene where she's shooting at him, and it's
Yeah.
like, all right, she was told from John, the voodoo guy, the voodoo priest,
The
that it's his
heart.
heart. The heart is the
Mhm.
only way to kill him. You know what I'm saying? So you had
Yep.
that fantastic scene where they were shooting, and she's not hitting him in the heart, and
Mhm.
which made sense, man. She's just a regular civilian. It's not like she's gonna be a dead shot. What did you think of that
Right.
scene?
Yeah, it's like you said, she was trying her best, and thank
Yeah,
God, the cop there. You keep saying his name, but I can't ever remember. Thank God
right.
he finally took the gun and did it himself. Cause yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now the other thing too, here's the other thing too, because one of his other buddies, they
Mhm,
were once he got decapitated. He got decapitated, and they thought he was dead, right? So his
mhm,
buddy, who was also on the case helping him out, he
mhm.
everyone told him, "Don't touch it, don't touch it." It was the doll. It really
Yeah.
was the doll. And of course, he's looking at Chris Sarandon like he's crazy too. So like you had first Andy, people looked at Andy like he was crazy, and then
Mhm,
Karen, people looked at Karen like she was crazy, and now they're looking at Chris Sarandon as Mike, the detective, like he's
yeah.
crazy because they're all saying this doll did it. It really was the doll. So of course,
Mhm,
Coriander, when someone says don't do something, you're gonna go right up and do it.
mhm.
So he grabs the head, Chucky's decapitated head, and he's playing around with it like a baseball or whatever. And he goes near a wall where there's like a grate. Now you have no idea this is going to happen, but then you get the second stinger. Chucky's body, his bottom half of his body, comes out and grabs him, and this and that. And I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my god, this is amazing. And then of course he gets shot in the heart.
Mm,
And
yeah.
oh man, what an ending! Like this movie with the premise that it has had a
Mhm.
lot of action, had a lot of,
It
twists
did.
and turns. I was
Yep.
really impressed by it. I really was. What did you think of the ending? How they had like, those two stingers, not just one.
Yeah, I thought it was great,
Yeah.
because just when you think it's over, it never is. Just like with the gunslinger. When you thought when
Yes.
he got set on fire that it was gonna be over, but it never
That's right.
friggin' is.
That's
So
right. That's
yeah,
right.
yeah, you always want to make sure that you get the job done, just because you
Absolutely.
think by burning it, it's done. It isn't.
Yes.
So yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And random human gamer, what's going on in the chat? Desiree was saying that scared me when he came back. I know, right? Oh my gosh. And oh my gosh. Steven, come on, man. We got a we got a super chat from our good friend Steven
Right.
from Craving Something Scary. Very, very
Thank
cool, saying,
you.
"Love you
Yeah.
guys. I am the Night Watch. You sure are a brother." And
Yep.
just for you, we're starting to do something whenever we get a super chat. Obviously, we're so thankful and appreciate the support that people give us. Um, Steven, obviously, a very good friend of the channel and a brother. But this is what we do when we get a super chat, Steven. You're going to love this.
Baby, can you dig your man? He's a righteous man.
All right.
Nice.
Can you dig your man? Anyways, thank you so much, Steven. We really we really appreciate it. You're awesome, brother. Um he says yes. That's right, man. That's what we're doing, man. Um, he says, "Love it." Thanks a lot, man. You're all right. Desiree loves it too. But yeah, yeah, we appreciate it, Steven. Seriously, you did not have to do that, but so appreciate it. But yeah, the
Yeah,
ending of this movie was fantastic to me, Coriander. It was really, really
it
good.
was.
And what a way to end it. I mean, this was a good movie to bring in a new horror icon. And Chucky, like I
Yeah.
said, he's in that top 5 or 6 for me. Um,
Hmm.
and what a way to do it. This movie was great. The tension, the mystery, the acting, the chemistry of the characters. You had a child actor that killed it, no pun intended,
He
killed it.
did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. And of course, Catherine
Cuteness
Hicks.
overload, that's for sure. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And Catherine Hicks was the glue as well. And
Yep.
real quick before we head on out, if you have another 1 or 2 fun facts, if you wanted to throw out, we'll do a couple of those too. And like I said, this movie had some really interesting behind the scenes stuff.
Okay, so Ed Gale was hired to play as Chucky for the fire scene. And
Mm,
since he was around 30% taller than the doll, the filmmakers created a living room stage that was 30% bigger and actually
hmm.
set him on fire.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah,
Yep.
yep.
And Maggie's death scene originally was going to have her being electrocuted while taking a bath.
Mm, cool.
Yeah,
Awesome stuff, man.
right?
Like I said, this movie, they did a hell of a job. Tom Holland did a hell of a job directing it, as he's done with
Mhm.
so many movies that we love. And obviously, him and Chris Sarandon, their work on Fright Night was legendary as well. Very cool
Yep.
stuff. We got Beth. Beth's in the chat too. What's going on? Saying, hey everyone,
Hello.
late to the party. All right. Neil saying you should get a clip of Grande singing that. Oh yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to get that clip. That's some awesome stuff. Desiree saying Night Watch 1984, Night of the Comet. Yes, we hope to do Night of the Comet soon. Again, that is a great movie. It's nice and cheesy. It's an 80s, just great sci-fi horror movie. And
Yep.
hopefully we'll get a chance to do that soon. I'm going to try my best to fit that in because I've been wanting to do that for a while. Me and Coriander have been talking about it. So keep a lookout for that, Desiree. Thank you for the reminder. And if you want, you can also throw that reminder in the comment section too, because everything on the live chat stays kind of on the live chat, but comments in the comment section, obviously, we respond to those. But yeah, I hope to do that soon. But anyways, Coriander, as we usually do with these movies, we got to give this a grade. And I think that this was probably going to be one of
We know
the,
what it is going to be.
yeah, this is going to be the easiest of all
Yeah.
time. Just tell me, are you recommending this thing or what?
Definitely buy it. Yes, this is
Yeah.
one that should be in your collection. Yep.
Absolutely. I agree. This is definitely a buy it. There's no question about it. And for you
Mhm.
guys, if you're like me and you hadn't seen Child's Play in a while, check it out, man. It was a fun
It
movie,
was.
great
Yep.
practical effects, and the story is so well told. Like it's really, I definitely think it's a classic. And
It is.
I'm almost ashamed to say that it had been, some years since I had last
Mhm.
seen it. It's almost like, it was like a forgotten fun movie for me.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Uh, Beth saying, I have a quick question. What's the best way to support your channel night, Patreon or the channel membership? Oh, well, geez, thanks, Beth. We appreciate
Right?
that. Either way works because we do have our Patreon, which is up and about, and we've had some really good support for that. And obviously the channel memberships as well, which obviously that might be a little bit easier because it's basically just the join button and then boom, you're right there. So either way, Beth, we really appreciate you even asking about it. It really
Yeah,
just shows that so many of you guys are so generous and so supportive, and it's just
definitely.
it's just awesome to see the appreciation for what we do. And it's humbling. It truly is. But yeah, Beth, let me know if you have any more questions about it. You can just comment in the video here. But yeah, the join button, it is literally right beside the subscribed button. So
Mhm.
if that was the easiest way for you, um, you know, that could be the way that you do it. So that's where it is right there beside the join, beside the subscribe button. So thank you so much, Beth. We appreciate you bringing that up. So, but anyways, guys, this was fun. I enjoyed talking about Child's Play. I'm really excited now to talk about more of the other stuff and maybe even the TV show. So yeah, man, very cool. You're welcome, Desiree. Thank you so much. And Steven saying 2 thumbs way up. Yes, I agree. Craven something scary saying, have a great night, everyone. Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Steven,
you
for
too.
coming in. You take it easy, man. I'll be talking to you soon. He's saying good night, Coriander. Very, very cool, man. Very cool.
Sweet
you guys,
dreams.
right? Absolutely. So, anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with us on this Monday night. We always appreciate you guys hanging out with us on Monday night because this particular series is very it's very niche, you know. And again, a lot of the movies we talk about, a lot of people don't know, and that's one thing we wanted to do is bring attention to some films that people maybe don't know or maybe haven't seen in a while. So we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us and supporting us, especially on the Monday nights. It means a lot to us. So please give the video a like. Leave us a comment in the comment section and let us know what you think of Child's Play, any favorite memories, or if you're excited about us possibly going further into the series with the sequels and maybe even the TV show. Let us know if that's something you'd be interested in. And yeah, we'll be seeing about that and when we can do it. Desiree saying, thank you, Coriander. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And
What about
Craven.
next week, right?
Yes, now we got to talk about what we're going to do next week. So what do we have next week, Coriander?
Oh, geez, you're asking me, and I don't even have my card with me.
Oh, you don't? Okay, all
I
right. Well, that's
don't.
okay.
Only you know, right? Oh my
Well, I'll
God.
tell you what. I'll look it up. Because we've got a list, and for you guys
Oh,
that don't know, if you
shit.
haven't been with us, we've been using the Teenage Slasher handbook as our guide as far as what movies we're going to be watching. So everything that we're doing is right from that book, and it's been so much fun. I mean, we've really had a lot of great movies, but we've also had some tough ones as well. So let's see
Yeah.
what we have. It looks like the next movie we have, if I can find the list here,
Oh, no.
um,
I'm
it's
sorry.
going to
Next
be
time I'll have
Body
it on
Count.
me.
That's okay. It's
All
going to be
right.
Body Count, which is available on Prime. So Body
Nice.
Count will be the next one. I don't know what year that was from. I think it might have been
I think it's like around
86.
86. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like
Yep.
that. Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that'll be what we're going to do next. So for you guys, definitely, if you get a chance to check that out, that would be amazing. We
Come
would
and
love
join
that.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. And it's so funny because Steven, I know he's probably waiting for this, but Steven's got a request here. And
Oh, no.
Coriander, you know what this means. So we got to do it.
You got to
You
do
know what
it
time it is.
now? Are
Yeah,
you
we
fucking
do.
serious?
Here we
Oh,
go.
man.
All right. We got it.
Whew. Wow.
Steve was like, yes.
That's all I got to
yes,
say is like, wow.
Oh, man. This
I'm
is
not
taking
going to be there.
This
No.
has taken a life of its own, man. It's been fun to do
It's
it.
too bad. Thank you, Blanca. Thank
Poor
you.
Coriander. I know. That's the best
Right?
part about it is the look that she
Shit,
gives.
man.
Oh, man. And for you guys that don't know, I know we've told the story before, but that is from Too Scared to Scream, which we had a blast doing a while back as one of our episodes. It was a lot of fun. So I'll be there. So anyways, guys, thank you. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Steven, thanks for throwing that out as a request. And so that
No,
people,
man. Come on. I thought that was going to like the Lethal Collective where it needs to stay. Come on.
Yes. And Desiree saying sorry, Coriander.
Right? Damn.
Thanks a lot, Blanca. We appreciate you. But anyways, guys, we're gonna head out of here. We're having so much fun. But thanks so much, guys. We really enjoyed this episode, and glad you did too. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. I'll be there. Peace.
I won't be.